Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. On what I can only describe as a very important day's broadcasting. Just a quick look at our little kitten, little Pickles. He is officially 8 weeks old today, and that means he should have had his teeth come through, and his eyes are going to remain blue because that's what they are at the moment. They've not changed. He's out here with his mum. You can't see his mum, but she's hiding behind the bucket, and he's having a bit of an explore of the outside world, bless him. Oh, there's mum. There's old sweetie. And he's playing with a hose pipe now. Well, what are you playing with down there? Look at him. Come and say hello to the people. Come and say hello to the people. Oh, he's going to hide behind the cat litter bin at the moment. There you go. So anyway, there's little Pickles. I'm going to leave the door ajar so that they can get back in if they want. Big shout out to Margaret Miller, who's tuning in. Let's have a quick look at the weather this morning. Absolutely glorious. Beautiful day. Slight breeze blowing. I'm not sure if you're hearing that breeze at the moment, but yeah, there you go. Beautiful blue sunny day. However, as you are probably all aware of the events that happened yesterday, there's a lot of people this morning who are very upset, very bewildered as to what is going to happen, because we were expecting, obviously, to go onto the green list here in Greece, and especially in Zakynthos, and obviously that has not happened, although I will go into that in more detail when I start my news broadcast. But at the moment there, the weather forecast for today from the lovely Amanda. Morning Ginge, Friday's weather, lovely and warm with plenty of sun, highs of 26. However, it will feel like 30. Enjoy the day. And I've just realised I haven't brought my mouse out and my pad. I'm a little bit of a disarray this morning. Anyway, let me grab the mouse and the pad. There we go. So I can keep an eye on little fella, little Pickles there. He's still running about. There he is. Look, there he is. Hello. Come and say hello to the people. Come and say hello to the people. There you go. Oh, he's coming around this side now. Anyway, let's crack on with the news, because there's quite a bit to get through this morning. Just to let you know, arrivals this morning here in Zakynthos. It's a busy day at the airport. Just to let you know that we've got 2 flights in from Amsterdam this morning. We have one from Brussels. We've got one from Vienna. We've also got one from Lithuania. We've also got 1 flight in from Italy. And we have 8 flights in from Poland. And that's the arrivals for today, Friday. Anyway, COVID in the last 24 hours, infections have been going down across the country. The other day I reported to you 1,381 infections, new infections across Greece. Now the figure was yesterday 1,239. When it comes to identification of cases into the country, only 1 case identified coming into the country, which was the same as the day before. Now, according to the national stats for infections on the islands, there was no new cases reported in Lefkada. There was 1 case in Kefalonia. Corfu had 15 cases, which was up on their day before, where they had 12. And Zakynthos recorded 1 case on their stats at the moment, on the national stats, although nothing on the local stats. So at the moment, for the month of June, Zakynthos has had 1 case. So that's our first case for the month of June. And that means that since the pandemic started this year, since the beginning of this year, we've had 563 cases on the island. Now, when it comes to deaths at the moment, unfortunately, new deaths are up across the country at the moment. Did report to you yesterday there were 23 new deaths. Well, today can report to you there's been 39 new deaths. And once again, our condolences to those people affected. That brings the death toll at the moment since the pandemic started to 12,184. When it comes to people in critical cases at the moment, critical cases have actually dropped, They were 486. They've now dropped down to 476, of which 295 are male and 181 are female. Today's news then, obviously a big thank you to Boris for all that he's doing as Greece remained on the UK's amber list. Anyway, Grant Shapps, the UK Transport Minister, took Portugal off as well, UK's COVID green list, warning potential vaccine defeating, warning that the vaccine defeating Nepal variant could wreck the UK's 21st Freedom Day. Anyway, there's 7 more countries, including Egypt and Costa Rica. They also joined the red list, which is also a further blow to holiday hopes in the UK. Now, no countries were added to the UK government's green list for quarantine-free travel in the review on Thursday. Portugal moved from the green list to the amber list amid concerns about rising infections. And travellers from countries in the highest bracket now will have to self-isolate for 10 days and take a coronavirus test also. The move is yet another bitter blow to holidaymakers wanting to travel abroad this summer, and the travel industry as well. Now, Greece and Spain remain on the amber list this month, with Malta the only possible addition just a week prior. The Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, told the press conference that people should not travel to amber countries except for essential reasons. It'll be interesting to see what happens now. Anyway, the Spanish authorities, however, said they are still continuing to welcome British travellers despite countries including Germany and France banning those from the UK due to the prevalence of the Indian variant there. So at the moment, I did speak to somebody yesterday, Mick actually, who told me that the only time that he had an issue when he was driving over from the UK was when he was passing through France, but everywhere else he didn't have any problems at all. It was just at the French borders. Anyway, Easyjet's reaction in a statement last night was the decision essentially cuts the UK off from the rest of the world. Also as well, shares of Easyjet, British Airways, AIG and Jet2, they fell by 5%, while Ryanair and TUI's fell by 4%. At least Ryanair is still flying to here, but not from the UK at the moment. Anyway, and fears that the Europe could miss another summer tourist season, culminating in July and August, with millions of Britons typically travelling to the south of Europe. This stoppage of flights is obviously going to affect these businesses. So again, I just don't know where to begin. Anyway, when I listened to the statement from Boris Johnson, which was this, Boris Johnson had warned the travel industry that his priority was to protect the population's immunisation programme. I want you to know that we will not hesitate to move countries from the green to the orange or the red list if necessary. The priority is to continue the vaccinations to protect the people of this country. The European Union, so I'll go on to that bit, but again, the rhetoric was there. He's protecting the UK. Somebody actually made a good point, actually. Maybe the plan is now I'm just surmising this, the plan is this. He's going to open up on the 21st of June. When he opens up on the 21st of June, everything will kind of stop in the way of social distancing, wearing of masks. It will be a full reopening and maybe a full return to international travel. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because when I look at our dates for last year, where technically our season for last year didn't really start until the 15th of July, maybe this is the plan now. Is he's going to stay locked down because of the Nepalese variant. So those people who are going out climbing Everest, who could bring back the COVID variant of that to the UK, which I think is very few and far between. I think this is probably what his plan is, that he's going to reopen on total on the 21st of June. And that means mask wearing, social distancing, all the other restrictions that are in place will probably all get lifted in one short, sharp bound. And then obviously we will see the return of Greece onto the green list. Interestingly, just to remind you that Jet2 at the moment, it plans to start its operations on the 24th of June. So 3 days after the announcement has been made. So again, we'll just have to wait it out and see what is going to transpire. But the other thing that has not been reported widely in the British press, but it has been reported here in Greece, is that the European Union has also decided that the UK will not be placed on its white list, allowing non-essential travel, adding further disappointment to the British holidaymakers wishing to travel to the European destinations. So at the moment, a little bit of tit for tat, if you ask me, is coming in, where the European Union is obviously not going to put Britain on its white list. So that means even European Union doesn't want the Brits coming over. However, Greece still wants to see the British arrive. Spain still wants to see the British arrive. And now it's going to be interesting to see what the policy is, because I'm thinking about some of the people that I have met over here who, to be honest, have travelled here on holiday, not for essential reasons. All right. They've come away. Now, the thing is, I have been told that if you're travelling and you're not travelling for on essential reasons, you technically can't get insurance, okay, for your holiday. So you're travelling without any cover at all. And as long as you're prepared to take that risk, then that, you know, that's up to you to decide on that. So again, we're still in a quandary at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see if the remaining flights from the UK are still going to run or they're not going to run. That hasn't been made clear. But certainly today, there are no TUI flights listed or even the odd Easyjet flight listed as arriving. So again, within the next few days, I think we might see a clearer picture as to the way ahead. But all I can say is that there's going to be a lot of people here very disappointed with what's gone on. We're also waiting for Mitsotakis, obviously, to, shall we say, stop the restrictions that we've got here at the moment, obviously with the music ban, with the using the inside of your venues, etc., wanting to see those restrictions lifted so that obviously business can operate normally with the customers that we have. And one thing that I did feel yesterday was that if we had gone on to the green list, Mitsotakis would have to have moved further forward to basically start lifting some of the restrictions here so that you could give those people a proper holiday if they were going to be on the green. So now at the moment, those people that are here are now obviously going to face the 10 days quarantine, the test before you go, the 2 tests during your quarantine, all the extra added expense, etc., that is now going to entail. And also, will the holiday companies that have still been flying from the UK still continue to fly unless it's for unnecessary travel? Because again, from what I can understand, nobody was checking anybody to see if their journey was a necessary journey. And will that be tightened up by the UK authorities? We'll wait and see. But anyway, that's my feelings on it. I can see already people are making comments and I'll come to those at some point. Right, now, according to Bloomberg data, again, this is our case about how great Greece is at the moment. Greece ranks 16th in the European Union in the uptake of COVID-19 vaccinations, with 35% of the population having received at least one dose, against the EU average of 38.8%, and 20.1% are being fully vaccinated versus the EU's average of 18.8%. So technically, we're one of those countries that are up there who are doing reasonably well with the vaccination program. Anyway, data from Greece's National Organisation for Public Health, have shown that the COVID-related fatalities are down on a downward trajectory trajectory, with health authorities confirming 23 new deaths on Wednesday from 27 on Tuesday, and significantly lower than last week's daily average of 40. So our death rate has been going up and down, but at the moment, it had a slight rise today, I'll give you that. But in general, our death rate has been going down. Oh, that's another point that's not been highlighted. The UK at the moment has had no deaths in the last few days from COVID-19. No deaths at all. So Britain, hey, you've got no deaths. I think people are vaccinated, and if you've had the vaccination, you should be allowed to travel. You should be allowed to go away, because that was the point of the whole process. Get vaccinated, get your freedom, get your right to travel. And again, everything that you have said seems to be in the opposite direction to what you asked of people to do, and that they've gone ahead and done what you've said. You're looking at America at the moment. They're trying to get people to get vaccinated by giving away free drink. Also, I think there's a $1 million lottery in one state where if you have the vaccination, you're in a lottery to win $1 million. That says to me you're trying to sell this vaccine because people are thinking, well, I'm not going to have it unless there's something in it for me. If I'm not going to get me freedom, I might get $1 million as a bonus. But anyway, I'm still not having the vaccine. For me, I'll let the human guinea pigs running around make my decision for me as we see how things go along. Anyway, also as well, Greece is now going to be supplying its neighbours of Albania and North Macedonia with 40,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine. A government spokesman said yesterday in a press conference. Greece, in coordination with the European Commission, as most European countries do for their neighbours, they will offer vaccines of 20,000 doses to North Macedonia and 20,000 doses to Albania. So Greece is now starting to give its vaccine to its neighbours, which is a good thing. And interestingly also, asylum seekers in Greece, they're now lining up to get their jabs as well as of yesterday. Because authorities have now began rolling out vaccination programs for the migrant camps. Now, the Greek government, which began vaccinating the general public in January, has been criticised by human rights organisations because it has excluded asylum seekers from being given jabs. And a lot of these camps are overcrowded with bad sanitary conditions, and basically having the virus go through those camps also has caused problems as well. Now, according to the United Nations Refugee Agency, there are about 12,000 asylum seekers on 5 Greek islands close to Turkey, and about 9,400 of those live in official camps. Anyway, the Migration Ministry Secretary, General Manos Vathomiris, told Athens news agency about 15% of people in the camps had so far expressed an interest in getting vaccinated, and about 30% have already been ill with the COVID-19. Anyway, in Greece, a country of about 11 million, more than 35% of the population have received at least one dose. And the government said also again on Tuesday, just reiterating the fact that Greece is doing its vaccination program as fast as it can. It's helping its neighbours as well in the process. And so we are a safe location to come to. Anyway, and finally, a little bit of happy news for you. It's local as well. The location of the pier for cruise ships in what is being dubbed the master plan, which has been on the go since I first arrived here in 2005, has now been changed, and the implementation process is now going to begin. Now, specifically, the Zakynthos MP, he said that after continuous repeated consultations with the political leadership of the Ministry of Shipping, requests to the local bodies and the local communities for the construction of the pier at the pier of Agaios Nikolaos, which is in town, or which was also known as Solution 1 within the master plan. He said that is now going to begin to take shape. Changes to the location of the cruise ship pier was one of the key issues on the agenda of the Interministerial Port Planning and Development Committee, or ELSA, at a recent meeting. Anyway, the committee, and through thorough discussion regarding the Pacific selection criteria and the continuation of the location of the pier and the conditions that the pier must meet, decided for the preferred location for the construction is none other than the place where it first was mooted, which was in the port where Solution 1. So basically it's going to be in the port where the ferries come in, and that is the location where the pier is going to go in. Now, the reason for having the pier is because it means that bigger cruise ships can come and moor in. It means then that the runner tender system that has been done at the moment will not have to be done, and you can have more than one cruise ship come in and dock, at least two of them at the same time. It also makes Zakynthos more attractive as a location for cruise companies to come and do business. In the past, our cruising program here has been sporadic at the best of times, and a lot of the reasons for that is because our facilities have been very poor. Also as well, having the actual vessels dock in the town, as it were, would be an absolute boost to the revenue of the town. There was a lot of talk that this would cause disruption to traffic, etc., etc. But I think that disruption far outweighs the economic value that is going to be brought to the island, and also the fact that the island could then become a good location for tour operators to come and do business, and this can only just have a knock-on effect. So anyway, it seems that the plans and implementation is going to be implemented as soon as possible, and again, if it comes off, it'll be another little feather in the cap of Zakynthos. And there's one thing I've just got to say about this. I think Zakynthos is very unique in comparison, say, to our neighbours, Kefalonia, in the fact that we are more attractive to holiday companies to come here and do business than what they are. They, in the past, have decided they're not really into tourism in the same way that this island is. And therefore, they set their sights on one particular demographic, which was, shall we say, the upper middle class demographic, people with more expenditure who were prepared to pay higher prices for their holidays, whereas Zakynthos basically was for everybody at all levels. So therefore, not only do we have, shall we say, the bucket and spade all-inclusive holiday, but also we have the €10,000, £10,000 a week, top of the range villa holidays as well. We have a right broad brush of holidays. So therefore, that gives holiday companies more options to do business. Unfortunately, Kefalonia, with its, we'd rather have 250,000 people paying more than 1 million paying less. They don't offer the same amount of variety in holidays as what Zakynthos does. So in times like these, it means the holiday companies are going to be looking at the islands that can do more for less, like us, than what those who want more for more can do over there. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how things are going to play out there. Right, I've seen lots of comments at the moment, people saying about how they feel with what's gone on. A big shout to Margaret Miller, also Sam Curtis as well, Rainer Pete Dillon tuning in. Also, Ginge Coldwell tuning in as well. Nice to see you tuning in all the way from, from Leighton Buzzard. I'm just trying to move now because my tablet is, shall we say, playing up again and not letting me bring your comment as easy as it has done in the past. David Lismore has said, morning, Ginge, sitting here absolutely gutted. Oh, well, staying positive for September. Take care all. Cheers for that, Dave. Also as well, Cliff Smith is watching, Peter Baldwin is watching, Shane Bowen up there on Exmoor is watching as well. Lorraine Julie Hudson says, morning Ginge, we are absolutely gutted, fuming with our government. We should be arriving in September, so hopefully things will change. Well, to be honest, I'm hoping that by September, well, at least by July, we should be back to normal. I do feel that June the 21st could be a kind of freedom day for the UK. I think what Boris is doing, as I've already said, he's going to make a big announcement on June 21, and hopefully masks are banned, social distancing are banned, and basically everything will reopen en masse, as opposed to, shall we say, a little bit here and a little bit there. I just think the overreaction for this Nepalese variant at the moment is just ludicrous. And also the fact that people are still flying in from red areas into the UK. All right, they've got on a flight, they've been tested before they get on. They are tested at the airport when they arrive. They've had their vaccinations probably as well. But at the same token, other countries have just said, right, ban flights from those locations until further notice. But no, they're still being allowed to fly in. They're still being allowed to go. And here, where we know we are a safe bet, we're a safe pair of hands, we are still looked upon as not being quite safe enough. And I think that is the most galling thing of all, the sanctimoniousness of it all. We're here saving your lives. Are you bloody bollocks? Anyway, let's have a look. Somebody else made a comment as well. Sam Curtis, God, do you know what? It's so frustrating and annoying. He says, morning, Ginge, just tuning in before I go to work. Cloudy here with light rain. Shame about the UK travel ban being extended. Yeah, well, it's not so much a travel ban. It's just that unnecessary journeys are not allowed. And it's, again, this confusing language that's been put out. It's not black or white. It's this beigey grey in the middle of, are we allowed to go or are we not allowed to go? Because I think in some ways, if it was honest and it was, no, you can't go, all right, fair enough, let's get on with it. Yep, we understand. But it's this beigey, like, unnecessary travel. We know people are coming over from the UK who've just had enough of the bullshit. They're saying, right, we're going to come over, we're going to stay for 90 days we're allowed to because of the stamping our passport now through Brexit, and we're going to see how things change in 90 days, and we'll take our chances. Once again, those people can't get health insurance cover because no health insurance cover is allowing health insurance to be got, or if it is, it's bloody expensive. So again, it's up to the individuals to take their risk, and anybody who is coming and decides to take the risk, good on you for doing it. But please, if it all goes tits up, don't blame us. Blame the British government, all right? You made the decision that you were going to travel. They didn't stop you from travelling. They just made it very confusing and very vague. Oh, unnecessary travel. You know, what might be unnecessary to me might be necessary to you. Mental health, that could be good. Oh, I had to go because of my mental health. I'm going mad in the UK, and my mental health is at risk, so I've got to come to Greece. Would that be a case? Would that be a good excuse for coming over? Would that be a necessary journey? Well, that's for you to decide. But anyway, Mr. Doppia John, he says good morning from Slovenia. I think he's definitely coming over here for mental health reasons. There you go. He says he's going to get over and he's just going to sit out the 90 days and see how he gets on. See who else is tuning in as well. I tell you what, my tablet is not working at all very well, so I am just going to leave it there. Right, I've made a decision today. I am going to do a request and inspiration show this afternoon, which will kick off at 3 o'clock your time in the UK, which is 5 o'clock my time here, and I will do that show. Don't forget, tonight, Beats Radio, I've got my Dance Anthem show, which kicks off at 7 p.m. your time in the UK, which is 9 o'clock my time here. And that show is on beatsradio.co.uk with 2 hours of uplifting dance anthems, something to try and cheer us up after the news of the week. Also, as well, we're hoping as well, maybe Mitsotakis, the Prime Minister here of Greece, he's been really quiet this week on the COVID front. There has not been a peep out of him about anything apart from Macedonia and that, and Albania getting some of our vaccine, but it's been very quiet on his front. He's been too busy dealing with Turkey, to be quite honest, at the moment. But maybe there might be something from the ministry with a little bit more clarity as to the restrictions that we've got at the moment here in Greece in regards to entertainment, social distancing inside bars, and also obviously the curfew, which is still on till 12:30 at night. But anyway, I'll keep my ear to the ground. And somebody said, I'm gutted. What the hell? I don't know who said that. But anyway, thank you for that comment, because that just about sums everything up. We're all gutted, but what the hell? We're just going to have to carry on with the people that we've got. And we are still hopeful that you guys are going to get here at some point from the United Kingdom, and you can have your holiday and your break. So don't forget, use the mental health card. Oh, I need to get to Zakynthos because my mental health says it's a necessary journey. So anyway, I will hopefully see you soon, if we're not all in the asylum together with our jackets on. Anyway, you take care, have a great one, and I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.